She said, "You need to choose between me and your daughter from your first marriage." I looked at her and said, "You're right. A choice has to be made." Then I walked to the closet and started packing suitcases. The panic in her eyes when she realized whose bags I was packing. I, 38 male, never saw this coming. Been with Bethany, 35, for 3 years, married for 1. My daughter Chloe, 14, from my first marriage, lives with her mom most of the time, but stays with us every other weekend and half the holidays. Last Tuesday night, Bethany dropped the ultimatum. We'd just finished dinner. Chloe had gone back to her mom's that Sunday. Bethany was washing dishes, I was drying, and she just said it. "We need to talk about Chloe." My stomach dropped. "What about her?" "I can't do this anymore, Derek. The every other weekend thing. The constant disruptions, having to plan our life around a teenager who clearly doesn't respect me. Bethany, she's 14. All teenagers are." "No, stop making excuses. She deliberately undermines me, refuses to follow house rules when I set them, and you always take her side. I'm done competing for attention in my own marriage." I set down the plate I was drying. "Competing? She's my daughter. And I'm your wife. You need to choose. Either she stops coming here, or I'm done. You visit her at her mother's place if you must, but I won't have her in this house anymore." The silence stretched between us. I looked at her face, searching for any sign this was some sick joke. But no. She was dead serious. "You're right," I said quietly. "A choice has to be made." Relief flooded her face. "Thank God, you see." I walked past her to our bedroom closet and pulled out our suitcases, started pulling her clothes off hangers. "What are you doing?" Her voice pitched higher. "Making the choice. You're absolutely right that someone needs to leave. It's just not going to be my daughter." The panic in her eyes when she realized whose bags I was packing. Priceless. "Derek, stop. That's not what I meant." "No, you were crystal clear. You want me to choose between you and Chloe. Done. Chloe wins. Every single time." "You're being ridiculous. We can talk about this." "We just did. You issued an ultimatum. I'm responding to it." Started emptying her dresser drawers into the largest suitcase. She grabbed my arm. "Derek, please. I'm your wife. We can work through this." "My wife wouldn't ask me to abandon my child. Pack your toiletries or leave them. Your choice." She stood there, mouth opening and closing like a fish. Then the tears started. "Where am I supposed to go?" "Not my problem. You've got family in town. Call them." Took me about an hour to pack everything of hers I could find. She spent that hour alternating between crying, yelling, and trying to reason with me. My favorite was when she said Chloe was manipulating me against her. Right? The kid who just wants to spend time with her dad is the manipulator, not the grown woman demanding I cut her off. By 10 p.m., her bags were by the door. She was on the couch, sobbing on the phone to her sister Meredith. "He's throwing me out over that bratty kid." Could hear Meredith's voice through the phone, though not the exact words. Bethany's responses told me enough. "No, I didn't. I just wanted boundaries. That's not fair. She is not his real family. I am." That last one made me see red. Walked over, grabbed the phone. "Meredith, come get your sister. She needs a place to stay." "Derek, what's happening?" Bethany demanded I choose between her and my daughter. I chose. "Come get her." Hung up. Bethany glared at me through her tears. "You're making a huge mistake." No, marrying someone who'd ask me to abandon my child was the mistake. This is the correction. Meredith showed up 45 minutes later, looking confused and angry. Started in on me immediately about working through marital problems and not being hasty. "Your sister told me to choose between her and my daughter. What would you do if someone asked you to choose between them and your kids?" That shut her up real quick. "She's got 3 kids. They left with all the suitcases." Bethany turned at the door. "You're gonna regret this." "The only thing I regret is not seeing who you really were sooner." Changed the locks the next morning. She never had her name on the lease anyway. This is my apartment from before we met. That was a week ago. The entitlement Olympics have begun. Update 1. The crazy really ramped up after that first week. Bethany apparently thought I'd cool down and beg her to come back. When that didn't happen, she escalated. First came the love bombing. Texts about how sorry she was, how she didn't mean it that way, how she just wanted boundaries, not to exclude Chloe. "Bethany, I was stressed from work. You know I love Chloe. You literally called her a bratty kid and said she's not my real family. I was emotional. So was I, emotionally done with your BS. When that didn't work, she tried the financial angle, started texting about her share of stuff. I paid for half the living room furniture. You paid $400 toward a $3,000 couch. I'll Venmo you the $400. That's not the point. We built a life together. Me, you tried to exclude my daughter from that life. Conversation over. But here's where it gets good. She called my ex-wife Lauren, Chloe's mom. The audacity. Lauren called me laughing. Your soon-to-be ex just tried to convince me that Chloe would be better off not visiting you because the divorce will be traumatic for her. She said what? Oh, it gets better. She offered to help mediate between us to find a solution that works for everyone. Derek, she literally suggested I keep Chloe full-time so you two could rebuild your marriage without distractions. Please tell me you recorded that. Did one better. Put her on speaker and let Chloe hear the whole thing. My daughter, my brilliant daughter, apparently grabbed the phone and said, Bethany, my dad already chose, he chose me. Get over it. Then hung up on her. Lauren and I haven't been married for 8 years, but we co-parent well. She was furious someone would try to interfere with our custody arrangement. Want me to send you the recording? Might help with the divorce. You're an angel. Nah, just know what it's like dealing with crazy. Remember my second husband? The next day, Bethany's mother called. Patricia, this woman. Lord. Derek, sweetheart, she started, all fake sweetness. I understand you're upset, but throwing Bethany out over a little disagreement? That's not how marriage works. She demanded I stop seeing my daughter. She just wanted some adult time. Is that so wrong? When I married Bethany's father, his kids from his first marriage knew their place. Their place. They visited occasionally but understood we were building a new family. They didn't intrude. Intrude? You mean exist? Don't be dramatic. Patricia, those kids don't talk to your husband anymore, do they? Silence. That's what I thought. Bethany learned this from you. Congrats on raising someone who thinks children are disposable. How dare you? Click. Then came the social media campaign. Bethany started posting about narcissistic husbands and when you're forced to compete with the past, and my personal favorite, sometimes stepmothers are the real victims. One of her friends commented, "Stay strong. You deserve a man who puts you first." Bethany replied, "Thank you. It's so hard when they can't let go of their previous life." My cousin saw the posts and screenshotted everything before I even knew about them. She DM'd me, "Dude, your ex is crazy. Team Chloe all the way." But the best part? Bethany forgot she was still logged into our Netflix and Amazon accounts. Saw she was watching movies at Meredith's house. Changed all the passwords, got a text 20 minutes later. "Bethany, the Netflix isn't working." Me, "That's because it's my Netflix. I use that too." Used. Past tense. Get your own. You're being petty. You tried to ban my daughter from her home. This is nothing. Update 2. Stuff got real this week. Remember how I mentioned this was my apartment? Well, Bethany decided that didn't matter. Monday morning, 7 a.m., I'm getting ready for work when I hear keys in the lock. Then scratching. Then pounding. Derek. My key isn't working. I open the door with the chain on. She's standing there with a box of stuff and 2 friends I don't recognize. Change the locks, remember? I'm here to get my things. What things? I gave you everything. My wedding dress. Photo albums. The KitchenAid mixer. The mixer my mom gave me for my birthday? That mixer? We used it together. It's marital property. We were married for 1 year. The mixer is 5 years old. Do the math. Her friends started chiming in about doing the right thing and being fair. I looked at these strangers. Who are you? We're here to make sure Benny gets what's hers safely, one said. All self-important. Cool. She already has what's hers. Goodbye. Started to close the door. Bethany actually stuck her foot in the doorway. I'm not leaving without my stuff. Then I'm calling the cops. You wouldn't dare. I pulled out my phone and dialed. Hi, I need to report attempted breaking and entering. My estranged wife is trying to force her way into my apartment. Bethany and her flying monkeys left real quick after that. But she wasn't done. Wednesday got a call from building management. Someone reported concerning noises from my apartment. Specifically, they claimed to hear a child crying for hours and were worried about neglect. The manager knows me, knows Chloe, knows the situation. Mr. Derek, I have to follow up on all complaints, but between us, I know this is BS. Your ex already tried to convince me she should have access to the apartment for safety checks. I told her to pound sand. She what? Yeah, claimed she was worried about your daughter's welfare. I asked if she was calling CPS. She backpedaled real quick. Thanks for the heads up. No problem. Also, officially, you need to tell her to stop loitering in the parking lot. Residents are complaining. She's been hanging around the parking lot for hours, taking photos of cars, writing down license plates. Mrs. Rodriguez is about to call the cops herself. Thursday, Chloe's weekend with me. Picked her up from Lauren's. First thing she says, Dad, Bethany texted me. What? She shows me her phone. Multiple texts from Bethany. Chloe, I know things are confusing right now, but I want you to know this isn't your fault. Your dad is going through something. When he calms down, we can all talk. I miss you, sweetie. I'm sorry you're caught in the middle. Maybe we could get lunch, just us girls, without telling your dad? That last one, I saw red. Did you respond? Yeah, I told her to stop contacting me or I'd report her for harassment. Then I blocked her and told Mom. You're brilliant. Mom already called her lawyer about it. She's mad. Friday night, Chloe and I are watching a movie when the doorbell rings. Delivery guy with Chinese food. We didn't order anything, I tell him. It's paid for. Address is correct. I take the food, confused. Then I find the note in the bag. Thought you might enjoy your favorite. Remember our Friday night traditions? It doesn't have to be this way. Chloe reads it over my shoulder. Ew, she's like a stalker now. Yeah, this is getting weird. Dad, isn't this from that place you hate? The one that got you sick? She was right. It wasn't even my favorite place, it was Bethany's favorite that I tolerated. She doesn't even know you well enough to stalk properly, Chloe said, and we both cracked up. Saturday morning, here's where Bethany really showed her true colors. We're at the grocery store, Chloe and I, doing our weekly shop. Turn down the cereal aisle, and there she is. Bethany, with her sister Meredith. Oh, what a coincidence, Bethany says. All fake surprise. Right, coincidence. At the store 15 minutes from your sister's place when there's one across the street from her. She ignores me, turns to Chloe. Hi, sweetie, you look so grown up. Chloe, bless her, looks Bethany dead in the eye. Please leave us alone. Chloe, I know you're hurt, but, lady, you tried to get my dad to abandon me. The only hurt one here is you, 'cause it didn't work. Meredith jumps in. Don't be rude to adults, young lady. I step between them. Don't talk to my daughter, either of you. We're in a public place. Bethany snaps. I can talk to whoever I want, and I can call security. Your choice. They huffed off, but I saw Meredith taking pictures of us with her phone. Later found out why. Bethany made another social media post with the photos, claiming I was denying her closure and using the child as a weapon. The comments were not what she expected, though. Bunch of people calling her out. Wait, you tried to make him choose between you and his kid? Why are you stalking them at grocery stores? This is creepy, Bethany. She deleted the post within hours. Final update. The extinction burst, sorry I know that term is overused but it fits, happened last week, and it was spectacular. Monday morning, I get served with papers. Bethany is actually trying to sue me for unlawful eviction and emotional distress. She wants $30,000. Her claim, since we were married, she had tenant rights, and I needed to formally evict her. Also, she claims the emotional trauma of being abandoned has caused her to need therapy and miss work. My lawyer actually laughed when he read it. She has no case. She was never on the lease, never received mail there, and you have texts of her admitting she was staying with you, not living there permanently. Plus, she left. You didn't physically remove her. So what do we do? Countersue for harassment. I've got the text to your daughter, the stalking at the grocery store, the false reports to your building management, and your ex-wife will testify about the attempted interference with custody. Let's do it. Wednesday, I'm at work when my boss calls me in. Derek, I need to talk to you about something uncomfortable. My stomach drops. We received a complaint. Someone claiming to be concerned about your stability and fitness for work given your volatile domestic situation. Bethany? The person didn't give a name, but they knew details about your position and current projects. They suggested you might be a security risk due to emotional instability. Boss, Derek, relax, I know you. I also did some checking. The email came from an IP address traced to a coffee shop. Security cameras show your ex-wife's sister there at the time it was sent. We're treating this as harassment of our employee. You checked security cameras? When someone tries to mess with one of my best team leads? Yeah, I check. HR is documenting everything. If she contacts us again, our legal department will handle it. Thursday was the grand finale. Get home from work to find Bethany in my apartment, with her mother Patricia and some guy I don't know. How did you? Emergency key under the fake rock, Bethany says triumphantly. You forgot about it. I pull out my phone immediately. I'm calling 911. The strange guy steps forward. No need for that. I'm Pastor Raymond from Bethany's church. We're here for an intervention. A what now? Patricia chimes in. Derek, your behavior has become concerning. Throwing out your wife, isolating yourself, putting a child before your marriage vows. Get out. We're not leaving until you hear us out, Pastor Raymond says calmly. Bethany deserves that much. Bethany deserves nothing. You have 10 seconds to leave before I call the police. Derek, please. Bethany crying now. I love you. We can get counseling. Pastor Raymond does marriage counseling. 5 seconds. You're destroying our family, Patricia shouts. 2 seconds. I dial 911. Hi, I have 3 people who broke into my apartment and refused to leave. They scramble for the door, but it's too late. Cops arrive within 10 minutes. I show them the changed locks, explain the hidden key, which I'd honestly forgotten about, and show them Bethany is not on the lease. Bethany tries to claim she lives there. I show the officers her ID, still has Meredith's address from before we got married. She never updated it. All 3 get arrested for trespassing. As they're being led away, Bethany screams, I'm pregnant. Everyone freezes. The cops look at me. Interesting, I say. Given that I had a vasectomy 3 years ago and we haven't been intimate in 3 months, that's quite the miracle. The female officer actually snorts. Bethany's face goes white. I meant I was pregnant. I miscarried from the stress. Which is it? Are you pregnant or did you miscarry? She just starts sobbing. Patricia yells about suing everyone. Pastor Raymond looks like he wants to disappear into the ground. They spent the night in jail. Bethany was released on her own recognizance. Patricia and Pastor Raymond had to post bail. My lawyer filed a restraining order the next morning. It was granted temporarily, pending a full hearing. But here's the best part. Remember that $30,000 lawsuit? Her lawyer dropped her. Apparently, breaking into my apartment while actively suing me for unlawful eviction destroyed any credibility she had. Can't claim you were unlawfully evicted while simultaneously claiming you have the right to enter the property. The criminal charges are pending. My lawyer says they'll probably plea down to misdemeanors, but it's still going on their records. Yesterday got a text from an unknown number. This is Meredith. Bethany is staying with Mom now. She's broken, Derek. I hope you're happy. Didn't respond. But honestly, yeah, I'm happy. Chloe's happy. She actually said last weekend, Dad, I'm glad you chose me. Kiddo, there was never a choice to make. You're my daughter. You always come first. Mom says Bethany was a walking red flag factory. Your mom's right. Mom also says you should date her friend Janet. Your mom needs to mind her business. We laughed about it, but honestly I'm good being single for a while. Need to process the fact that I married someone capable of this level of entitlement and manipulation. Bethany's still posting on social media about being a survivor and rising from the ashes. Last I heard, she was trying to start a support group for stepmothers facing parental alienation. Meanwhile, Chloe and I are planning a camping trip for spring break. Just the 2 of us. No drama, no ultimatums, just a dad and his daughter who will always come first. To anyone facing similar ultimatums, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. And when someone asks you to choose between them and your child, the choice is already made. They just told you they're not worth keeping. Thanks for following this crazy journey. Gonna go make my daughter her favorite pancakes now. You know, the ones Bethany always complained were too much sugar for breakfast.